Schaumburg Toyota.
I never like to get sent to the showers, but when I do, at least I can look forward to using my All-Star beach towel. It's a large, soft cotton towel with the All-Star logo on it, and you can get one free, courtesy of Clorox, if you're one of the first 15,000 fans, 15 or over, who comes to Comiskey Park Friday, August 12th, when we play Baltimore.
Hey, Jerry, the shower's ready.
And Triton has the football. Inside the 50-yard line, they give it to Cochran. And Cochran gets up across the 40-yard line down to about the 37-yard line. Let's see where they mark the football. A nice run, and he picked up a good gain on the play.
There's what I was mentioning earlier about what Yonkers was explaining to the young Cochran. Go ahead, try to, put a little dipsy-doodle on some of these linebackers and defensive backs, because he does have some speed. Give Cochran 10 on the play for another Trojan first down. That's their 5th on the afternoon, and their 4th on the ground.
Wide to the left side for Triton is Schaefer. In the slot left is Starks. A quick pitch back to Jackson. Flag flying. Jackson gets down across the 35-yard line to about the 33.
Good indication of that being against the Trojans due to the fact that the flag was flown in the Trojan backfield.
Torrey Dean made the tackle for Thornton. However, the flag will go against the Triton Ball Club, and I think they're going to accept the penalty, they being the Thornton Community College.
Wait to see what the call is here.
Harry Slinger, our referee.
In second quarter action so far this year, in the first 2 ball games, opponents have scored 10 points against the Trojans, while Triton has put 13 points on the scoreboard. So they're a second quarter team. We'll see what happens here this afternoon against the Bulldogs.
Well, actually, they're good in the middle of the game. The second and the third quarters have been where they've done the best in the first 2 games thus far, Jim. And
right.
And if they hope to get on the scoreboard, we might look for them to do it now.
Call is against the Trojans. It'll be a 5-yard loss, so they'll have it 1st and 15. The ball resting on the 42-yard line of Thornton. Triton's been knocking on the door so far in this game, but penalties have hurt the Trojans as they've marched backwards. And we still have a 0-0 ball game.
Wide left is Charles Williams in motion. In the slot is the wide receiver. Cochran gets the handoff, however, and goes up to the 30-yard line. And he picks up about 12 yards on that play before he's met and dropped on the play by the punter, who also doubles as a defensive back, Joe Malkowski. A nice pickup on that play, right up the middle.
Yeah, he sure did. He's gained 3 big ones here right in a row, 8, 10, and 12 yards. I have him for 7 carries for 45 yards, Jack Cochran. So him and Jeff Jackson have both gained 45 yards on the day for the Trojans.
Wide left is Terry Franklin, and the slot left is Darrell Harris. Manella has the deuce backfield in a split formation behind him. He gives the first back through Cochran, and Cochran's got all kinds of daylight. He's at the 20 to 17. Before he's brought down from behind on the play by James McKinley. But the offensive line is doing an excellent job right up the gut, Jim. He's got good yardage once again right up the middle.
They're following that left side of Herb Stogsdill and Clantain. And on that play, they did the same exact play as they did the play before, sending Cochran there to the left side. And both times he has gained 12 yards. So Cochran now the leading ball carrier on the game.
Another Triton first down, and wide left this time is Phil Schaefer. And they give the ball this time to Jackson. Jackson gets down inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. And he gets a few yards in the play before he's met and dropped defensively by Mark Kielman, as well as Torrey Dean once again for the Thornton Ball Club. And he got a good 5 yards in the play. Let's call it 6, and they'll have a 2nd down and 4. And they being the Triton Ball Club, and they'll be working from their own 12-yard line.
Moving the ball quite well now with the bit wind at their back. Whether or not that's the difference here compared to the first quarter, we'll have to wait and see.
Wide left again is Williams. In the slot to the left is Schaefer. They give this time again to Jackson. Jackson gets across to the 10-yard line, but not too far across the 10-yard line, as he's met and dropped right there in his track. And moving in to make the play defensively, Ken Hunter. And Torrey Dean once again for Thornton, but not before Jackson gets up near a first down. He's just shy of the first down at the 9-yard line. They're going to mark the ball about 6 inches inside the 10, and another 6 inches will give Triton another first down.
I don't know if our viewers at home saw that, but Jackson was popped in the back and lost the ball, and then while the ball was in the air, he kind of cradled it right back into his arms. A fine play by the tailback.
I formation in motion from right to left is the receiver. They fake the handoff to Cochran. Manila keeps the ball on the quarterback keeper. He's trying to negotiate that first down.
That sort of looked like a broken play, Bob. I wasn't quite sure. We'll have to wait and see if they're going to give the Trojans the first down.
They're right there. It's going to be awful close, and I think they're going to bring the chain in and measure. 11:42 remaining here in the first half, and again, we have no score in the football game.
Triton so far this year has consumed 15 first downs by the rush, compared to only 5 by the pass and 5 by the penalty. Their opponents have gained 21 first downs by the rush, only 3 passing and 3 by penalty.
Well, just enough yardage, Jim, on the measurement to give Triton a first down, and so they'll be faced with first down and goal from the 9-yard line. We had a sunny sky here when we first opened up the football game, but the clouds are starting to move in here just a little bit. I certainly hope they're not rain clouds.
No, we don't need that.
Wide left for the Triton Ball Club is Schaefer. Harris in the slot to the left. Cochran and Jackson are the running backs behind Manila. The down back is Cochran. They get to the first back, Cochran, and he goes right up the middle, right down to the goal line. Let's see if he got in. He's awful close. No, they're going to say his knee touched down at the 1. So
another fine
pickup.
gain, Bob, by fullback Jack Cochran. He picked up 7 on the play.
Being a big guy myself and a former lineman, you've got to appreciate the work being done by the interior right now.
You sure do. You know, it's a shame to these gentlemen. They don't get any of the glory or any of the highlights or what have you. But, boy, I'll tell you, that football would never be moved an inch if it wasn't for them.
Second down and goal from the 1-yard line for Triton. Manila will probably give it to his money back, Cochran. Let's see what happens. First back through, Cochran, touchdown, Triton College. With 10:50 remaining here in the first half of play, as Cochran moves in on a 1-yard plunge after the handoff from Manila, and Triton has themselves a 6-0 lead, and a good play. Again, the offensive line play has been excellent. They've been opening the holes all the way down the field, Jim.
And they've been following that left side. I hate to keep mentioning it, but Herb Stogsdill and Clant Haynes have been doing a very fine job for the Trojan offensive unit so far.
Okay, in to try the extra point is Tracy Steele for Triton. And the placement is not good. The reserve quarterback picks it up, and he's going to run around for the 2-point conversion. He gets that.
In. That's number 10, Norris Perkins, a reserve quarterback, as he fumbled the snap and did a very fine job of keeping the ball in front of him, a la shortstop, and scooped that ball up, went around right side, so the Trojans can convert 2 to make it a score of 8-0 in favor of the home team.
Well, you certainly like a man back there that's holding the football that can do a lot of things with the football, especially if the snap goes awry, and that's exactly what happened there. And Perkins, jolly on the spot, had the head to pick the football up, skirt the right side, and pick up that 2-point conversion to give Triton their current lead of 8-0 with 10:50 remaining here in the first half of play. So Triton gets on the scoreboard, and much to the satisfaction of the Triton fans here this afternoon.
And like we mentioned before, Triton, a second and third quarter ball club, scoring most of their points so far this year in those quarters. And they've been keeping it tuned the same way here as they put 8 points across here at 10:50 in our second quarter.
Tim Hoffer will tee it up and kick off for Triton. Back deep for Thornton is Jackie Jenkins, and also back deep is Clarence McMillan. And the ball's taken by Jenkins to the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30, up across the 30-yard line to about the 31 before he's met and dropped by a host of Triton tacklers.
Thornton will take over now, first and 10, see if they can get some kind of offense going. They were moving the ball a little bit before the end of the first quarter. They had their first down on a 7-yard run by Buchanan. But the Trojan defense, for what they've been known for the last couple of years with brand new defensive coordinator Corby Howard coming in and taking over, has a very strong defensive unit throughout the N4C conference.
Suggs wide left, Williams wide right as Zondor gives to the first back through this time. That's Buchanan. And Buchanan picks up a couple. No more than that. And Kelly on the spot defensively, Noel Harris for Triton to make the tackle.
Harris, a big, big man. He comes in at 6'4", 240 pounds, and he has a year of experience, too, so he's a man you like to have out there.
2-yard pickup on the play for Thornton. Second down and 8 yards to go. The ball just inside the 30 at the 32. Zondo with the I formation gets to the second back this time. This is McMillan, and McMillan gets up to the 36-yard line before
Caught by Charles Taylor, number 37. He just read off his block, and he was there to meet number 34, McMillan. And McMillan going back to the huddle, limping a little bit.
Taylor doing a nice job on the play, coming up to the corner, making the stick. And the stick has certainly counted.
The defensive backfield for the Trojans this year, very inexperienced. They only have one returner. That's number 3, Maris Carroll. But defensive back coach Jim Finnerty has done an outstanding job with the young core of newcomers here at River Grove.
3rd and 6 for Thornton. Zondor rolling left, drops back to pass. A pass intended out on the far sideline across the field for Ken Tolbert. And again,
they had a full red dog coming in, Bob. Linebacker 51, Dennis Stahl, Doug Pennington, and Mike Orsini were all putting the pressure. And if you notice there, they caused Zondor to run to his opposite side. So he's more or less throwing across his body, which is something you'd like to do.
Talbert, the intended receiver, and his opposite number making the play defensively once again, Charles Taylor. So Melikowski will be into punt once again for Thornton, and back deep again is Franklin and Bailey for Triton. And this is Franklin at the 31-yard line, the 35, the 40, 45, midfield, across midfield, down to about the 45-yard line to the 44 before he's met and dropped.
A 26-yard punt return by Terry Franklin, and that's one of his specialties so far this year.
Making the tackle was Bob Wilson for Thornton, but not before a 26-yard punt return.
Franklin so far has returned 2 punts for 18 yards, so he's averaging 9 yards of punt return. And with this 26-yarder, that's going to up that average a little bit.
Okay, we've got the I formation behind quarterback Manila. He barks out the signals, quick pitch back to Jackson. Jackson's trying to negotiate some yardage, and he's met and hit, but he wasn't dropped down on the play as he skirted away from that tackle and moved up a couple more yards before he's met and dropped across the field on the far sideline.
Bob, we don't have a number 54 on our Thornton roster. That's who hit him first. That's who slowed up Jeff Jackson, so you can make up a name if you wish.
I got to be honest about it. I've been calling him Steve Kerr. I've noticed that earlier in the game, and I was faking it.
All right, well, we'll keep it that way. We're sorry about the inconvenience here.
2-yard pickup on the play. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Coming out wide to the left is Schaefer for Triton. Now Jackson shifts from the I to the deuce. Manila gives to, fakes the first back, fakes the second back, rolls to his right, and he throws downfield, and a pass intended down the 28-yard line for
number 82 for the
Brian
Trojans.
Burek. However, the pass was incomplete as Brian just couldn't get the handle on the pass. And so now 3rd down and 8 yards to go for Triton as Terry Franklin brings in a play from the bench and coach Ed Yonkis.
You really can't blame Manella, Bob, for the throws. Everyone has been on the money, and it's just his receivers have been dropping the football.
Okay, now lining up wide left is Terry Franklin and Darrell Harris in the slot to the left. Down back is Cochran, I formation. They give to the first back, Cochran, and he gets up across the 40-yard line, the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20. He's got one man to beat as he's knocked out of bounds for about the 12 or 13
flag on the play.
And we've got a flag on the play as Cochran showed that speed you talked about earlier that he could get outside, Jim.
He's done an outstanding job so far on the day. Without this carry, he has 10 carries for 66 yards, so he's gaining over 6 yards a carry so far.
And the ball's going to be marked to the 13-yard line, but we've got a clip against Triton.
Boy, that's a shame. Such a job that Jack Cochran's been doing, and now something like that comes about. But it's all part of the game of football.
Well, that seems like the same old song, Jim, and the nice series that the Triton Ball Club was able to put together at the end of the first quarter. Penalties just hurt them all the way through, and they were unable to score. And now they're back inside Thornton territory, deep in Thornton territory, and a clip on a nice run by Cochran will be negated somewhat as they move the ball all the way back out to the 28-yard line of Thornton.
Well, you still give Cochran 13 yards on the carry. So that is a first down for the Trojans. They're 7th on the day. And Cochran now with 79 yards on 11 carries. He's by far the leading ball carrier so far this afternoon.
Williams out wide right, Williamson in the slot right. We give this time to Cochran. And Cochran's up the middle, on to the outside, and down to the 12-yard line.
Boy, Bob, he's having himself a heck of a day here following that left side of the line. Stocksdale and Haynes. Another first down for the Trojans.
Well, a nice play, no doubt about it, by Jack Cochran. 5'10", 214 pounds. And he was tackled by James McKinley. But not before he picked up another Triton first down. And the ball is spotted just outside the Thornton 10-yard line at the 12. Wide right out there is Schaefer, and the slot right is Starks. Quick pitch to Jackson. Jackson goes around the right side. He's across the 5-yard line, down toward the goal line. Fumble. And there's a fumble. And let's see what happens. All of the players from both sides milling around down there, and they're saying that Triton got their hands back on it. It's a Triton touchdown on a fumble.
Don't know who came up with that loose ball.
It's very possible Jackson may have bounced on that ball himself after coughing it up. Nonetheless, it's another Triton touchdown with 7:23 remaining in the first half. And the Triton Ball Club has upped their lead to 14-0. And again, we're going to have the point after touchdown attempt by Tracy Steele. And the holder is Norris Perkins. Here's the snap. Perkins puts the ball down. Steele gets the kick up, and it's good. As referee Harry Slinger indicates that it was straight and true. So with 7:23 remaining here in the first half, the Triton Trojans have themselves a 15-0 lead over the Thornton Bulldogs on a nice play by Jackson to get down into the end zone. He fumbled the ball in the end zone, and we assumed that he was able to get back on his own football and recover it to give Triton their current lead of 15-0. So Triton able to get on the scoreboard clock once again, and now they're up by 2 touchdowns over the Thornton Bulldogs.
Bob, I'm going to find out. I was talking to Coach Jim Finnerty, who's up here in the booth with us. We'll find out exactly who landed on that football. Hopefully.
Okay.
So, unofficially, we're going to give it to Jackson right now, but we'll wait and see.
Tim Hoffer is teeing up the football at the 40-yard line. Again, the deep backs for Thornton are Jackie Jenkins and Clarence McMillan. Hoffer with the kick. And he gets off a good end-over-end kick that's going to come down at about the 8-yard line to Jenkins, the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25, and up to the 26, and that's it. And there's a flag on the play once again. Coming up and making the play defensively for Triton was Mike Anderson, a free safety.
We just got word that offensive tackle Butch Bresky, number 74, recovered the loose ball in the end zone, so he's going to be credited with the touchdown, Bob.
Well, as our vision was obviously fielded from the play, we'll make that correction and give it to Bresky. So give Bresky a touchdown, and he doesn't score too many, does he?
No, he doesn't. I imagine this is going to be one of the thrills of his college career. So Butch Bresky with the touchdown. We have a face mask call here against the Trojans, so that's going to up the kickoff, and Thornton's going to take over 1st and 10 on their 41-yard line.
That's exactly the call. That face mask penalty gives Thornton their offensive series from their own 41. Out at wide right again is Williams. Split. The running backs are Buchanan, McMillan. They give to the second back. This is McMillan, and he's met and dropped for a loss.
Number 37, Charles Taylor coming in from his cornerback position, making a very fine tackle in the backfield. They're going to lose 2 on the play. 2nd down and 12.
A good defensive penetration that time by the Triton defense, and that's what the defensive coordinator was telling his team down the sideline when we were able to pick up that conversation a few moments ago. Again, wide right is Suggs, and the slot to the right is Hearn. Split backfield behind Dorn, and they give it to Buchanan, but Buchanan gives it on the reverse to the slot back Tolbert, and Tolbert's also dropped for a loss. They met McMillan, rather, not Buchanan, but McMillan, as he was handing the ball off. They tackled him. They tackled Tolbert as well.
They sure did. The Trojan defense is fired up. Mike Orsini making the first initial stop on who looked to be the ball carrier, and then Tolbert took it around, and the rest of the Trojan defensive line was waiting for him. They had a loss of 5 on the play, so it's going to be third down and about 16 for a Thornton first down.
Wide right is 83, George Zalewski. And the running backs in the I formation are Buchanan and McMillan. Zondor drops back to pass. He's going to throw a long one intended all the way down here, but it's intercepted at the 40-yard line. Picking off the ball for Triton is Amaris Carroll, and he's trying to negotiate yards at the 40-yard line. He does a little song and dance and sidestep, and finally is brought down in a sea of flags at about the 37-yard line.
Boy, there's a whole bunch of them, Bob, out there. There's one back on the 40-yard line of Triton. There's one on the 32-yard line of Thornton, so we're going to have to wait to see what happens.
Amaris Carroll made that interception for Triton. However, we've got a flag back on the Triton 40-yard line, and we've also got to see a flag at the Thornton 35-yard line.
If that interception goes, that will be Carroll's first of the year, the team's third. Anthony Thomas has one along with middle linebacker Dennis Stahl.
The officials are talking the situation over, and Harry Slinger gives the indication.
Pass interference against Thornton, or excuse me, against Triton.
That's exactly the call, pass interference. And so now we have to see whether or not Thornton will accept the penalty. I do believe they will. Oh, we've got two penalties against Triton, blocking below the knees, or an illegal block.
Right.
And also the pass interference, so
we'll see what happens here. They're going to mark it off from the line of scrimmage.
Let's see what Coach Yankas has to say as we've got him down on the sideline.
Play football. What else?
Okay. Just saying, play football, quit the alibis, and quit the penalties. We've got to come out here and play some hard-nosed football. And so Triton will try to do just that. Thornton football, 1st and 10. They're right next to the 50-yard line at their own 49. Zondor, the quarterback. The running backs are Buchanan and McMillan. Zondor dropping back to pass, gets the block from McMillan. No, McMillan misses the block. Oh, the defensive player made a nice play sliding off the block, trying to be applied by McMillan, and Zondor's dropped for the loss, Jim.
That's outside linebacker Doug Pennington for the Trojans. Number 49 comes in at 6'2", 234-pound sophomore, and he did make a fine stop of moving off his blocker and coming in and sacking Zondor.
5:20 in the clock rotates remaining here in the first half. Again, the score, Triton 15, Thornton nothing.
Bob Thornton has done absolutely nothing so far today offensively.
Steve Gibbs is wide right. Zondor fakes to McMillan. He's rolling right with a pass, and getting a receiver on the far sideline is Zondor, but the pass goes out of bounds, incomplete to Suggs, as Suggs did not keep his feet in bounds.
Number 25, Anthony Thomas on the coverage for the Trojans. So far today, Zondor is 1 of 4 for +5 yards, so Thornton's not really doing it through the air. But on the other side also, Manila is 0 for 3, but Triton has 15 on the scoreboard, and that's what's important.
Incomplete forward pass, so it's 3rd down and 15 now for Thornton. And they're at the Thornton 44-yard line, let's call it 43-yard line. Wide left is Suggs. Zondor drops back to pass again. Looking down the middle, a pass intended for Suggs at about the 45-yard line is not good. There defensively for Triton on the play was Anthony Thomas, but it'll be 4th down now for Thornton, and Thornton will be kicking it away once again to the deep backs, the deep return backs for Triton, Terry Franklin and Delvin Bailey. So again, the Triton defense was able to hold Thornton, and they're going to get the ball back over on downs.
There, Thornton's having a tough time getting over that mid-stripey line so far today, Bob.
Into kick once again is Malkowski. Has a low snap. Malkowski's just going to have to fall on the ball. He can't get the kick away. And coming in to make the tackle defensively for Triton was Kerry Elson. And Kerry Jolly on the spot defensively gets in there and not only stops the punt situation, but gives Triton excellent field position.
That's a big play there. That's enough to burst Thornton's bubble. I'll tell you, Bob, if Triton comes in here and puts in 6 or 7 more points, I have a feeling things are pretty well over.
Okay, Triton back in business once again. The ball at the Thornton 27-yard line. Coming wide left to the near side this time is Charles Williams. And Manila gives on the running draw play to Jackson. Jackson across the 20, the 15. Down inside the 15, he stretches out to about the 13 before he's met and dropped in the play by Malkowski. And there's flags everywhere after the play.
Here we go with that physical stuff I was mentioning earlier. This is always a blood battle, Thornton and Triton. They're two very physical teams, and with these penalties being accumulated, this is a good indication of that.
Jim Mallon and I had an opportunity to talk before the football game this afternoon, and that's exactly what Jim told me, that this is a physical game, and this is offsetting penalties this time, Jim.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against both clubs.
So what we're going to have is a 1st and 10 now for Triton. They'll be working from the Thornton 13-yard line as they lead in this football game by a score of 15-0. 4.5 minutes remaining here before halftime. Triton would like nothing more than to get back on the scoreboard before we go into the halftime intermission. Wide right is Franklin. In the slot to the right out there is Mike Starks. The tight end on the left side is Jim Cavaliers. I formation behind Manila. Manila fakes to Cochran. He's looking for a pass, looking for Franklin out wide. Can't find him. He cuts up the middle. He tucks the ball under and tries to run with it and picks up maybe a yard on the play, possibly 2.
He was hit by a whole load of Thornton defenders. Getting off the pile slow is number 75. That's Emilio Betancourt.
That's Phil Schaefer with the play coming in from Coach Ed Yonkis, and he gives it to Guy Manila, the quarterback, as Franklin checks back out. Coming out wide left now is Phil Schaefer. Cavaliers, the tight end, lines up on the right side. In the slot to the left is Darrell Harris. Manila gives it to Cochran. Cochran across the 10-yard line down to about the 8-yard line before he's met and dropped defensively by Mark Gilman, the 6'2", 205-pound linebacker for Thornton. Coming out now this time is Harris along with Schaefer, and taking in the play from Coach Ed Yonkis is Charles Williams.
Here comes the sun, Bob. Warm us up a little bit here. You notice the AstroTurf starting to turn a lighter shade of green all over, so the moisture is starting to rise a little bit as the afternoon goes on.
Didn't somebody famous write a song, Here Comes the Sun? Wide left is Williams. In the slot to the right is Williamson. Quick pitch to Jackson. He tries the left side. There's nothing there. He tries to cut it up and finds nothing, and he's hemmed in at the 10-yard line. Again, a host of Thornton tacklers. One of the main cogs in that play defensively, however, was Ken Hunter, 6'3", 235-pound defensive end.
Along with number 80, Gerald Lungsford, 6'1", 180-pounder, who did a fine job of hemming in Jackson.
Maybe a yard pickup in the play, so Triton is faced now with a 4th and 7, and Tracy Steele comes in to try the field goal. Again, the holder is Perkins, and the kick is up, and it's good. And that was a 20-yard field goal from the, well, no, check that, about a 27-yard field goal.
Right, they marked it about the 17, so you add 10, and we have a 27-yard field goal by Tracy Steele. So with 2:29 left in our first half of play, it's the Triton College Trojans 18, the Thornton Community College Bulldogs nothing.
Just get in, we'll talk about it.
I've got to go home. Oh, come on, Carrie. We're going to a new place.
Guess you want to go home, right? Go.
Whoa.
You okay to drive? Yeah, I'm fine. You sure?
Relax.
What's a few beers?
If you don't stop your friend from drinking and driving, you're as good as dead. Drinking and driving can kill a friendship.
We're back in River Grove. Bob Brunell and Jim Mallon from Triton Stadium, and Hoffer with the kickoff as Triton just scored on a field goal, and that's McMillan at the 10, the 15, the 20. He goes right up the middle, the 25.